This is Housebound. I'm Chris.
I'm Holly.
I'm Ashlyn.
I'm Greg.
And you're invited.
Welcome to Housebound, a podcast we made because we needed company. In it, we talk about things that are on our minds, and today we're talking about the voices inside my head.
Your head specifically?
Your head?
My head specifically.
Wow.
So I was really struggling coming up with a topic.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, other podcasts do like Q&A with their listeners, but I go through my day.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody else does this or not. Maybe it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I go through my day and I literally ask questions in my head all day long. Like all sorts of questions. Some of them are like existential and some of them are like really easy to answer and I know the answers. But I just thought maybe I'll just write down all of the questions that I ask myself today.
Nice.
And we'll see what everybody else's answers are for them. So I'm going to give you...
I love this.
Oh, God, I'm glad.
Wait, first when you said that, I was like, are we just going to sit in silence for 45 minutes while you have like stream of consciousness into the mic? These are the voices inside my head. It's cold in this basement.
I'm so glad I put on socks.
I love my dog.
Yes.
Just give me a second to plug in here. Okay, we're connected. I don't know if that'll pick up at all.
Because that's the consciousness plugging into my brain.
Well, we have to like hardwire your brain into the.
I think that's
into
just
the mic.
Chris's hardwired inner voice like runs through HDMI and like audio in.
That's true. Mine is just vocal out loud for no one to hear because I'm alone all day long. So this, Greg, is why I told you could not prepare.
I mean, I could have prepared mentally for it.
Emotionally,
spiritually.
This is better, I think. Though.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Just struggling. So I'm going to give you zero context because I don't remember why some of these questions are.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so just...
So wait, are we answering these questions?
Yeah, we're going to answer them.
As if we were you or as ourselves?
No,
as yourself.
As ourselves.
We tried to decipher
in whatever way you choose. Yeah, decipher it in your own way.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's just jump right in. Why is getting up so hard?
Oh my goodness. I ask myself that
Not
every
true.
single morning.
It's not hard at all.
It's not?
No,
Really?
this is so when Ashlyn goes to work, yes, it's a long time for us both to get up out of bed.
Context for the eager listener who's like, when Ashlyn goes to work? Question mark?
Yeah.
And I get up at 3:00 in the morning for a work that starts my shift at 4 a.m.
Yuck.
So before I married Ashlyn, I didn't really even know. I think I saw the snooze button, but only in movies. Like that was the only place and time for a snooze button.
What did you use as an alarm?
What?
I use an alarm and then
But
I
he
get
never
up.
pushed the snooze button.
Okay.
He just gets up when it goes off.
They were just alarms.
That
with
is
no snooze button.
outrageous.
Yeah, So when I married Ashlyn, and Ashlyn is a frequent snoozer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So
I smack that baby.
So
yeah, I have to
no
set my
tomorrow.
alarm.
So
Just like
Ashlyn
we're going to have
will
to
set-
smack an explicit tag onto this podcast.
So Ashlyn sets the alarm way early so that she can
I do
have
that too.
some time to snooze. And I'm like,
Just set
I
the
would
alarm
rather
for when you want to wake up.
Yeah,
No.
I'd rather like preserve that like as actually good quality sleep because snoozing isn't necessarily good quality
I
sleep.
would like to
No, it's
show my fellow colleagues here at the Housebound podcast my alarms that it set on my phone. I can't show them to you, the active listener, so I will describe them with my voice.
Okay.
I'm currently scrolling
Holy.
down on my phone on what I imagine
I don't
to be
wait.
about 400 different alarms.
Why are there so
No.
many?
I don't. Okay, so for those of you that are hearing us be confused right now, we're going to start at the top of the list. I'm just going to give you a little taste of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for clarification,
Yes.
your list of alarms starts at midnight.
Yes.
Is that because you just
That's
have
because
alarms for
sometimes
whenever?
I have to get up for that time for work.
Okay.
There's a shift that I start at 1 a.m. sometimes.
Okay. So there's a midnight, and then there's 12:02 a.m. and then 12:15 a.m. And then by that third.
Yeah, I never start work at 2 a.m. So the earliest I start is at 3 a.m. So the next alarm is set
by
for
that
2.
by 12:15 you will have gotten up.
Yeah, generally I set 3 in the morning.
Okay, so an initial one. And
yeah.
then why 2 minutes later and then why 2 minutes and then 13 minutes? Why not like 7 and 7?
There's a strategy there.
More
the
than
first
one?
2
so that they
get me up. The
other.
third one's an emergency. For if I turn the other 2 off, say, okay, it's time to get up.
And then you fall back asleep.
And the other 2 work in tandem, like a nice seesaw.
Yeah. So, because if they only go off once every like 5-9 minutes, I'm asleep, like fully asleep in that time. I fall asleep, like I do not feel the second bounce. I am totally unconscious within seconds of hitting the bed.
So there's been multiple times where Ashlyn hasn't even heard like the first 3 alarms
No, I'm
go
still
off.
sleeping.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a heavy sleeper.
Weird. Okay, so we've got midnight, we got 12:02 a.m. and 12:15 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you have a shift that starts at 3, so naturally you would want to wake up and
12,
early.
2.
So, but why 2:14 and not 2:15?
Just for fun.
So on the iPhone, when you select an alarm, it's just on a scrolly thing. So I'll just get close to it and click save.
Oh no. Okay. That's all kinds of
Chris
not okay.
can't deal with that at all.
Okay, and so then do you have a 4 a.m. shift?
Yeah, so then 3:02.
No. We skipped past that you have a 2:55 alarm.
Yeah,
what's that
it's
about?
when I need to get up, but it might be handy if I wake up a little bit earlier.
What?
What? I used this one for the last 2 days.
So then you're like, well, I have to get up for a shift at 4, but I know that I'll probably sleep in, so I'll add an alarm.
I'll put one in at 2:55
to trick my brain into thinking, oh yeah, it's been like 50 alarms already.
I appreciate options.
Okay. All right. Continuing on. 3:02, 3:15, 3:17, 3:35. No system here. We're just going like every
really
3:50, 3:55, 3:59. 4:05. Okay, do you start work at any given hour?
Truly. And then, then I take naps in the afternoon.
Okay, let's see your
so
nap.
then you have afternoon
those
ones.
are all the 5s. There's a lot of 5s.
Now by the time we get to the 4
heaven.
a.m. and 5 a.m.s, we're in 3-minute increments.
I don't delete them. And at other
They
jobs,
stay there
I used to start at
permanently.
7 all the time or at 8 all the time. I did both those shifts for several years. So I'll create more alarms and then
Do you have any duplicates?
6 is also a very
they're all-
popular
they're all in-
hour
they're
to
all
wake
in
up.
order.
There's
They're
a
all
lot.
just in order.
Yeah,
you
the
would see
iPhone
them.
does that. 7, also lots of 7s. He gets to 8s, 9s, 10s, and then
so then there's
skips over to noon.
There's a big break.
And now here are my
there's not really.
nap alarms.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
Okay,
that's
so
excessive.
Ashlyn knows.
so that's what happens
What's
when
your answer
Ashlyn
to this
gets
question?
up.
Why
But
is
like-
it so hard to get up?
But for me,
Ashlyn's like, yes.
I go back to bed for like another hour and a half
After she
After
gets
she-
up.
after
leaves.
she goes
Yeah.
to work. And so it's from 4
I don't know
till
why you wake up at all.
5:28. And at 5:28 the alarm goes off. I am up. I take my sip of coffee that's been in a thermos that I'd already set right beside my bed. So
For
the
an
first
hour
thing
and a
that I
half?
that
Cold?
I no, it's good.
It's in a
It's
thermos.
only been an hour and a
Oh,
half.
okay.
Yeah,
You
it's
didn't
in a
prep it the
thermos.
night before. You
No,
prepped it when Ashlyn
I prep
left.
it when Ashlyn
Okay.
leaves.
He makes
Okay.
a coffee for me to take to work and then
And
one for
coffee
him
for
an hour and a
myself.
half.
You're a very loving man.
Well, no,
I
not-
would have slept
Well-
through Chris leaving.
Well, before you say
Well,
that,
actually, no. I
objection,
so then
Your Honor.
I take a quick sip of coffee and I stumble out of bed and then I either watch a Doctor Who episode to like get myself fully awake, or I watch a Star Wars Rebels. Has been recently what I've been watching, but that's because it's shorter and
Interesting.
22 minutes.
Yeah.
It is
It
cool.
is shorter.
So, and then by that time, my brain's awake and I'm able to do things like Hebrew or reading my devotions.
What time do you
or,
typically get up at?
Uh,
Like, generally?
like if you didn't,
Like 7
If I
like
didn't
7
have
a.m.
to
or
do that?
6:30?
Like
No. If you,
what time are
with,
you
with all of
working?
this in...
oh, he
like
said 5:28.
5:28.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I just missed
on
that.
the minute.
That's so weird
So,
so early.
and psychotic.
Yeah, he's a one alarm man. I don't have that kind of risk tolerance in my life.
I used to be
Yeah.
able to get up after one alarm, but I think
okay.
Holly's laziness has...
if I have a consistent sleep schedule though, I get up before my alarm goes off.
Oh, interesting.
Why?
Like your
Why
body
are
just
you
wakes
awake
up.
My
before
brain will
your
wake
alarm
me
goes
up
off?
like literally 2 minutes before it goes off. So then I don't have to deal with having noise in my ears.
I will
It's
do
like
that too, but it's because the sun's coming in through the window in the wrong way and it's hitting me in the face. And
I don't know what to do with this information. I didn't know anyone was like this.
Well, now you do.
Like,
It's just Greg.
No, I don't think so.
Greg,
there are
he's
others
alone
like
in the
me.
world.
Greg thinks I'm weird for having just a big old struggle trying to get out of bed in the morning.
I often say the words, and Chris can probably attest to this. I don't know if he's ever actually paid attention, but it's usually
can I
after
guess what you're about to say?
after he's gotten up and is in the bathroom. So sometimes he'll hear me. What do you think I'm about to say?
Oh, you said words. Otherwise,
Yeah.
my instinct was going to be like, I'll be in the bathroom and I'll hear her get up, and she'll be like, or sometimes it's like, why is it so hard to get out?
Yes, I will say that
Something
sometimes.
to that effect.
Because I literally ask these questions outside out loud all the time. No, but usually the words that I will say is, "Okay, Holly,"
Oh, yeah.
and then I will swing my legs out from under the blankets.
Convince yourself to get up.
Yeah, I literally have to give myself the encouragement
Yeah.
because otherwise I will just not do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I don't know if we have a
Alright.
scientific answer for that question.
Well,
just,
apparently it's
to each
that
their
for
own.
some people, for some psychos, it's not hard.
Mm-mm.
So
I
don't-
used to
I
have.
don't know what that's
so
about.
now I have a husband, which helps me get out of bed in the morning
Mhm.
because he will physically get me out of bed in the morning. Because, like I mentioned, I will straight up sleep through the alarm
Mhm.
for long periods of time. It'll just be beeping. It doesn't really matter what volume. I
Mm-hmm.
have before slept through a fire alarm. That happened once.
Oh, that's bad news.
I woke up
You're
and
sitting.
the fire department was already at the place that we
Oh,
were at.
no.
Oh no,
It was a sleepover.
that's terrifying. Actually,
Yes.
The fire alarm's just like, and in your head it's like, having like a dance party or something
I
like that.
probably was.
I'm
I'm just thinking. Oh gosh. Chris will get me up, and before Chris, I would set my alarm very loudly,
Mhm.
to the chagrin of my roommates probably. But if it went off too many times, I would get a knock on the door from my roommates, and that would be like, "Can you stop?"
Mhm.
Could
Or-
you stop and then
And
also
before
start?
that, my dad would wake me up each morning, but he didn't do it nicely.
Mhm.
He just came in the room and took the blanket
Yeah.
and left.
Didn't turn the light.
But
light
I have
on.
I have
Yeah, he
struggled.
turned the light on, took the blanket, and left. Rude.
I've struggled to get up in the morning for like many, many years now. Because back in
Mhm.
high school, before I had a cell phone to
Mhm.
set 1 million alarms on, you just had your digital alarm clock.
or like your wristwatch.
Yeah.
I had digital alarm clock,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
that
me
was
too.
it. And so I noticed that I was consistently late, and my mom or my brother or something like that would have to get me up, and I'd be like, I don't even know what happened. I definitely set the alarm, and it's because in my sleep I would turn it off
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
like go straight back to sleep. And so what I had to do was I put tape over top of the
Of the
off,
switch.
like the
Yeah.
switch to turn the
So
alarm
you
off,
couldn't
Yeah.
turn it
and
off
I
in
would
your
wake
sleep.
up and there'd be scratch marks across it.
Oh my
It was-
goodness.
I am a demon. So creepy.
Gross.
So eventually I had to
man.
download an app where it's like Shake Awake or something like that,
Mhm.
where it'll keep going off louder and louder and louder until you
Mhm.
like shake your phone for like 2
Mhm.
minutes.
Oh,
And then-
no.
Gosh, that's
I
so
put it on
long.
extreme mode. Yeah.
I put on like level 5.
And so that by the end I was awake.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not quite that bad.
There's all kinds of systems that I know of that can like get people up
Mm-hmm.
out of bed. But yeah, I used to be able to get up out of bed kind of on the first alarm, and then I just slowly over the years, I don't snooze too repeatedly. I probably snooze once or twice now, but I also can randomly just get up on the first one. And in the summer, especially now that we live above ground in
Mhm.
instead of in a basement suite, we get sunlight in the windows, and
Mhm.
that just generally wakes me up earlier than I want to be awake anyway.
Mhm.
So,
Mm.
but yeah, now I understand how older people feel. It's like, why are you awake at 5 a.m. doing yard stuff? And it's like, 'cause the sun was up and I couldn't go back to sleep or
Mhm.
something like that.
What's your next brain thought?
Well, okay. Do you want to do these in order?
Just do whatever.
There's a lot of them.
Do them
in order,
whatever
and
order
then
makes sense to you.
And then we can stop if there's more. Then we can just do part 2.
Many more. Okay, that's fair. Okay, the next one is: must I shower this morning?
Okay, follow-up question. How many days has it been since you last showered?
No, there's no context.
No.
You just have to answer.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, the answer is,
yeah.
okay, I'll answer for myself. How many days has it been since you last showered? 1 day. Okay, acceptable. You can just wash your hair, but did you sweat the previous day, like, excessively, like, more so than usual? Or was there, like, a campfire that you had in the evening and you didn't shower before you went to bed for some reason? If yes to any of those questions, then yes, you need to shower again. But I'll usually go 2 days.
Yeah.
Or like I'll
every
do it
other day.
Every other day, I guess.
I don't mind morning showers in and of themselves, but I hate morning showers because of what follows, and that is hair dryers. They're the worst.
Oh.
Why do you want to blow hot, loud air right at your face, right near your scalp? It's terrible. By the end, your hair is all frizzy.
Ashlyn, you love heat.
I do love heat.
But why don't you enjoy that process?
I do not enjoy the process of blow drying my hair.
That's so interesting.
It.
Really? Oh, I don't hate it.
Maybe is that why we
Okay.
Is that why we blow dry our hair in the bathrooms? Because it's like nice and humid. That's what makes hair look.
No, it's
nice.
because you shed so much when you blow dry your hair. I lose a lot of hair when I blow dry.
Yeah, I do too.
Might as well keep it all in the same room.
I guess so, except that it's all over the house anyways.
Yours is too, sir. You use the hairdryer more often than I do. Thanks.
I just don't
It's
think
your hair in the bathroom.
Okay.
My family, we definitely were. I don't think I ever really remember skipping a day of showering. I think it was
don't
like
understand where you get the energy.
I think
Greg.
it
Greg, where do you get off?
Where do you get the energy for all of this?
I feel like Greg, other than his charming, bubbly, smiley personality, would have done great in the army.
What? Other than being crushed by all of the crushing speak.
Be like, wake up at the crack of dawn, get ready like I do every morning.
And have somebody scream at you like a blow dryer.
Like a blow dryer.
I don't think. Greg, have you ever used a blow dryer?
No.
I thought that it was
you have
hilarious
very
when I was
voluminous hair.
Oh my
Voluptuous
goodness!
hair.
Yes,
His hair voluptuous is a different word.
Voluptuous.
voluptuous.
No.
One yike. No, I was going to say that I used to think that it was ridiculous when I was younger, especially at camp. There was some of the other male staff that would blow dry their hair in the morning after they'd had showers.
I mean, at camp, that's silly.
Well, okay, just in general, seeing people do that, anyway. I was like, what? Like, why? Like, in my mind, blow dryers are just like an exclusively a feminine accessory. Like, I knew that guys used it, but I was like, I don't think I'll ever get to a point where I'm like using this regularly to style my hair.
It's
and
just
like,
as handy for
yet
men's
now
hair.
I do it. Yeah. So.
Yep.
But that's because now I style my hair. So.
Yeah, and you
didn't used to.
Okay.
So. Next question.
Next question. When will I fall down the stairs again?
When was the last time
you haven't
fell down the
you haven't
stairs?
even left the bedroom vicinity yet, and you've had all these questions.
Yeah, I think a lot.
Do you think that question before you go down the stairs or
Yes.
on your way down?
As I grip the
banister?
the railing, the banister.
Mhm.
What a funny name.
Mhm.
It makes me think of barrister, but those are lawyers.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, as I grip the railing and take the first step down the stairs, Odin comes past me usually.
And
And it's not because of him,
Your
it's because I
stomach
have really
drops.
stiff feet and ankles in the morning, and so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fall down again. Like,
follow-up
this
question.
is gonna happen.
How old am I?
Oh gosh, 92. Yes, anyways. Do you guys never worry about falling down the
but
stairs?
when was the last time you
When
fell
I'm
down?
carrying something, I worry about it.
Monday.
2 months ago,
2 months ago.
maybe something like that.
Like
I
when you
mostly don't
slip
tell
with your
Chris.
heel.
There was a week in which I fell down.
Why are you laughing already? I know that you fall down the stairs. This isn't surprising.
There was a week
that I
in
did
which
it 3
fell.
times.
When it was just twice, but one was down the fire escape at work.
Oh, yes.
It hurt a lot, and I had big bruise.
Okay, so side story to that
And
is
I didn't tell Chris for like a week and a half because I was I don't want to hear the lecture.
Side story to that is that she gets
heavens.
into the car that day, and I noticed that the backs of her pants are like dirty, and I was like, oh, she must have like stepped over but not fully cleared a snow pile or something like that, because I know that the stairs at her work are these like metal stairs that are just terrible from the outside fire escape. Don't go through the fire escape anymore.
No, it's so nice to avoid all of the nosy people.
People that are watching you fall down the stairs.
I'd rather fall down the stairs than walk past our accountant's office.
Okay. Is this also the same week that you fell down the stairs going up the stairs?
Work?
At work?
No, that was my first week at
How
work.
did you fall up the stairs?
Because my feet don't work.
Okay.
Anyways,
No further
do you guys never think that you're going to fall down the stairs or up the stairs?
So I'm really
Depends
curious.
on the stairs.
That's fair.
I'm really curious. The last time I lived in a place where I was going up and down the stairs, because currently we live in the upstairs of a bungalow. Our front door is like 2 steps from the ground,
It can happen.
and then it's straight sailing from there to anywhere in the house.
Yeah,
The
we have a lot
world's
of
your
stairs
oyster.
in our house. That's fair.
And so I don't fall down the stairs because I don't live in a place that has stairs. But the last time I did was in high school. And I fell down the stairs quite regularly, mostly because when I'm overtired or if I get sick, I have something called vasovagal syncope, which means that I pass out easily and in response to certain stimuli. So blood is one of the things that makes
like
me
blood.
pass out. But also, like, when I get sick, I just get really, really fainty. And so generally that just like makes my legs weaker, and so I would regularly fall down the stairs because I would half faint on one of the steps, and then it was just free falling from there on out.
That's terrifying.
So I'm really excited to live in a house with stairs again. It'll be so much fun.
You're gonna have to watch her after she wakes up.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's only like half a flight.
It's half a flight, yeah.
Either way, so
Yeah,
you're good.
Then there's a corner, so I'll just hit the front door. It'll be perfect.
But there's definitely
you're on your way out.
there's different varieties of stairs. There's stairs that are made to code. There's stairs that were made to code a while ago. There's stairs that were made to code even before that. And then there's stairs that have definitely not been made to code at all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the stairs in your parents' house.
So yeah, those in particular, those ones I'm not afraid of falling, but I think I'm just used to standing next to the pit that's like right beside the back door. Because it's literally, you open the door, there's like this entryway, and to your right, stairs will start, and there's just a cavern that goes
There's
down.
no railing.
Is this
There's
their?
no railing.
Oh, that's terrifying.
house that
Why
we-
isn't there a
Terrifying.
railing?
Is this the house that we've been to, or their new place?
This is the
one you've been to.
the house.
The one that we've been to.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't.
There's just a pit to your right.
Yeah.
But if you
That's scary.
if you just have the door open like most of the way but not all the way, you can't even tell. You're good. You know, you just keep on entering in as the guest,
And
and
you have a funny laugh, take a step back, and never step forward again.
No, but I think so those stairs are a little precarious, but like I never had any fear of falling down. I think you just get used to the fact that there's this like pit that's right beside you as you enter your house. But then other stairs, like I remember as a kid, like visiting my grandparents, like it was a long flight of stairs to their basement, and it was, like significantly long and very like pretty short stairs, at least from what I remember.
Yeah.
So was afraid of falling down those, but I don't think I've ever fallen down stairs.
Greg, you're too perfect for this podcast.
Wow,
We're
none of
talking
my
about our
questions apply to
struggles.
you.
Sorry, Chris. What about you?
I think, like I've definitely slipped where like my heel has touched the edge of the step, and then I've skidded out and like landed on my butt and gone down several stairs. And I'm sure I fell downstairs as a kid. But I think the thing that happens the most common stair falling situation that I would encounter in recent years is usually if I'm carrying something and I miscount the number of steps that I'm carrying something up, or usually down, you get to that second to last step, and in your mind you're like,
it's the last one,
or you're on the last step and you think it's the second to last one, and you take that fall and you feel like your foot is falling through space. Like it's like suddenly it hits the floor and it comes earlier than you thought it did. Or I guess it could happen the other way. You think you're on the last step and it goes twice as far, and then you do that like jumble. But it's almost always when we're helping people move, because you're carrying something and you can't see past it, and you're not familiar with the house.
Yeah, moving stuff downstairs royally sucks. Like heavy stuff. Like, here, Greg, carry this dresser with me, and I go, no, thank you. I will find somebody who is better suited for that. Because while I have not fallen downstairs, I am definitely afraid of falling downstairs, especially like with a bunch of heavy stuff. So yeah,
legitimate.
But just to say, it's not like I'm perfect and haven't fallen. There was probably recently. I remember a particular Costco parking lot that was icy.
Oh, Greg slips on ice like a frickin' penguin. Oh, golly.
So does Holly.
So funny.
So does Holly.
And instead of helping her husband who's sprawled on the pavement,
no, it's way more fun
just
to
looks
laugh.
on and laughs. So that not only does Greg not have help, but so that other people might hear
It's
and
not
might
even
perhaps
join
look.
in. It's not even a chuckle. It's a every time.
It hurts though. It hurts to fall down on the ice.
I think the funniest part of when
doesn't hurt me.
I think the funniest part about when Holly slips on ice isn't the falling part, but it's that immediate reaction where you're just like walking along when everything's good, and suddenly the person like twitches like something has come out of the middle of nowhere and slapped them in the face. They're just like, what the? Something invisible.
Chris doesn't let me hold on to him as we're walking through parking lots in the winter because he's like, you're just going to take me down too. Oh, thanks. The love, I feel it.
No, but I mean, there is some common sense to that, though. You know, like if you're both down, then there's nobody to help you up. But if only one of you's down, then the other
nobody's helping us up anyway, Greg. We've just established this.
I don't know her.
Look at that mook on the ground. Should I pack more food for the day?
Always yes.
Yeah.
Always yes.
I don't think there's been very few times when I've gone through the day and been like, wow, I had too much.
You bring food home all the time. What are you talking about?
Well, if you're talking about like the porridge that I don't, like the instant oatmeal.
No, you often like in the evening, you're like, oh, I didn't eat this bag of goldfish. So you like bring that out.
Okay, so once in a while.
Do you guys have emergency work snacks?
I used to keep some candies, like.
But then you just ate.
Back to Holly being 92 years old.
Yeah.
Specifically Hardwerther's original.
Oh, I was about to say Werther's. Yeah, I didn't say it, so
and those like
I lose. But.
White peppermints that are like way too
no,
hard.
gross. Mint is yucky. But yes, Werther's originals. I used to keep those at work, but then I forgot to keep it stocked, so I don't anymore.
Okay. Here's the one. Another interesting thing about being married to Ashlyn is that before I thought lunch was you pack yourself a sandwich, you throw in like a granola bar, maybe like a fruit,
like a main and
a veggie or something. But like the main is definitively like it's supposed to be like a sandwich, But then with Ashlyn, it's always last night's leftovers.
Oh, yeah. That's
Whereas
lovely.
Leftovers was always supposed to be a supper thing.
Yeah, but then what do you make for supper?
It stayed in supper.
What do you make for supper?
No, you just sometimes you don't make supper and you just have leftovers.
Yeah, but
instead.
then if you eat the leftovers, then what's for lunch the next day? You always have
sandwich.
to consume.
You always have a sandwich.
He always makes a sandwich for himself for lunch.
So
and there's
like
a variety of
every
sandwiches.
Every second day is a fresh supper, and every second day is a leftover supper. Yeah, and then lunches are always sandwiches.
Lunches are always and there's a variety that you can have. You can have
Are you just gonna name
peanut butter
right
and
now?
jelly.
Yeah, he is.
You can have
Crunchy peanut
ham
butter
and
jelly.
cheese. Just, yeah, hang tight though.
Natural peanut butter.
Yeah, but there is like a variety. You could have like it's stuffed with like veggies and stuff, lettuce and all that, or
Don't
you can
get
just
into
have.
the jams. There's too many options.
And I've even been known to make, as I think
Tens of
we've maybe
sandwich
talked about already
combinations.
at some point on this podcast, a condiment sandwich.
Gross.
It's
Oh.
so good.
Gross.
So good. It makes it so that you feel like you're having like a hot dog or a hamburger, but you
There's no
you
hot
haven't
dog.
spent money on the hot dog or hamburger.
That's just like
Okay.
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I didn't get that from my
I
parents.
just
Don't worry. That was
imagined
just
it.
me.
I just imagined the hot dog and it was fine.
Sounds like
So
he's
I'm
in
thinking
poverty.
what I'm thinking about is a story that my mom, or not just a story, but like a thing that my mom would tell me about when her parents, my grandparents
Mhm.
were young. My grandfather would take sandwiches to school. I'm trying to remember what the ingredients were to get this right. I think it was just like bread and
Butter and sugar.
Lard.
well, I
No-
don't even know if it
No
was
joke.
that.
That is a thing that I have heard.
Was it
What?
dairy?
Lard.
Like, was it dairy? Was it
What?
cheese? Or was it things like meat that were like more expensive,
I don't know.
like 80 years ago, 60,
don't know.
60 80 years ago?
80 years ago. He's only 80 years
Yeah,
old.
so that's 60 years ago.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was like a 2-ingredient sandwich. That's
Mhm.
what that's reminding me of. And I was like, they had to imagine the food because they like didn't necessarily have it. It's like
Ooh,
We might have to do that now.
we
with
also
these
had pizza
inflation
pops.
prices.
That was delicious.
Oh.
Pizza pops.
Mhm.
I
And
I
pizza
ate one
pops.
of those today.
technically a sandwich.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I'm not too different from normal.
You're three
Spoken like
different
a
from
true
normal.
alien. I am such the normal.
Yes, I eat human foods. Peanut butter and jelly.
Nom nom condiments.
Yes, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Crunchy peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Natural peanut
Natural
butter and
peanut
jelly
butter
sandwich.
And jelly sandwich. And several others.
There's also a variety of jellies, let's be honest.
Okay, team.
It's a whole new experience. Going from strawberry to orange,
Like marmalade?
like hugely different.
Like marmalade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The excitement on your face when you said that.
I won't
was
touch
just
strawberry
so
jam
ridiculous.
or strawberry
You don't
jelly
like
or whatever.
strawberries.
Love
That's
strawberry.
why.
Marmalade, though, I'm fine with.
Right?
And
Like
I know
strawberry marmalade?
No, just
What's
marmalade.
marmalade?
Just marmalade. Marmalade is like
citrus jam.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
orange.
Orange. It's
There's-
Paddington.
It's what?
Isn't that a bear?
Yes, that's what he
He eats marmalade sandwiches.
Oh.
So it's
He's known
not
for that.
Paddington because then he would be made out of
It's
jelly.
representative of Paddington.
Yeah, all right.
it is of Paddington. Okay.
Okay.
I'm normal. Don't give me that look.
Ah, yes. You're an Earth favorite. A Paddington marmalade.
Paddington sandwich.
Paddington
Look
marmalade.
At that cultural reference.
Greg, draw me a picture of Paddington. Draws a pile of jam in a train station.
Just a pile of jam with a sign that says "Home?" ?
Yeah, I don't remember. What does this actual tag say? I've never. Full
Is he like
disclosure,
lost or something?
full disclosure, I've never read Paddington. I've only ever seen the books. I've never seen the movies.
The
I
movies are so
understand
good.
generically the cultural references to it, but it's like he has like a tag on it that says like
Those
looking
movies
for a good
have like
home
98 or
something like
99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Greg's standard.
that. Peanut butter and
Everybody
tomatoes.
else's.
You-
Okay, guys. Here's the next one.
Okay.
Why don't people drive right?
Oh, great question.
The answer is because
they also drive left.
Oh
No,
my
it's because
gosh.
they're driving left.
Ah.
All right, next one. Where should I park?
Wait, whoa.
no, I don't think we
have
need to
to.
dissect that any further.
Did we do an episode on
We
driving?
did do an episode on
We talked about driver's ed in one of our school episodes. I think.
No, but I
We
thought
did
we did a
driving
whole
as well.
episode on driving.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Winter driving.
Winter
I
driving.
remember
Winter driving.
Mhm.
What about summer driving? Spring driving? fall driving.
It's the same.
They're all the
it's
same.
the same, but it's more frustrating because it's easier to see the road and the signs, and they still don't follow them.
Don't do it right.
What's this yellow line? Where was it 6 months ago? Just under the snow.
Still there.
Yeah.
You still shouldn't cross it. Where should I park?
At my workplace, there are 6 parking spots in front of the building.
Only
and so
6?
almost everybody
First
has
come,
like
first serve.
a same spot that they always do in the morning. And I randomize it every morning.
That's so
just
good.
to screw somebody up. I'd be like, spot 3 today, then 1, then 5, 7, whatever.
Then
There's only
2,
6.
4 days
but
in a
I'll
row.
go
Only
with it.
6, but I made a 7th. That's
Parks
funny.
parallel behind
Does
them.
anybody ever comment?
I think occasionally, but like I don't have a spot. I don't have one that I always park in, so I'll just pick somebody else's.
My coworkers have a spot a couple blocks from our office because we're on a busy street and it's like 1.5 hour parking. But you go down a couple of blocks and onto a side street and it's free all day. And so they'll park there, and they have typical spots that they will choose. And they do refer to it as like somebody took my spot or whatever, but they generally get those spots. It's not, it just has to do with the time you arrive to work.
I take one of the least wanted spots in the parking lot, and so I get it every day usually, which I think is great. But it does mean that I park like inside a tree. So
yeah, all the shade.
Yeah, which is nice. And then I don't have to worry, because I eat in my car at lunchtime often, and so then I don't have to worry about people being like, hey,
Oh yeah,
let's look at this person
My
in their
decision,
car.
my decision making for both when it is the middle of winter and it's hard to see the parking lot and the lines on the parking lot, or in the middle of summer when the lines have been rubbed off because it's like a privately owned parking lot and they just haven't painted it in forever. The first thing that I do is if there is people already parked in the parking lot, I will of course try to see if they've roughly parked within whatever lines are visible. But if there's somebody that's clearly parked straddling 2 or 3 spots, I'm not just going to pull up beside them and keep going. I try to course correct. So I won't park right next to them. I'll park one over if I can see that there's a spot there and leave like an extra large awkward gap between me and them.
But also sometimes you park so close to them just to spite them.
So if they're parked,
Because Chris really dislikes it when people don't park right.
yeah, I just don't think it's that hard. Like
Yeah,
in the winter,
it just one of us has to climb out the other side of the vehicle
I
then.
usually let you out and then I park.
Usually.
No, but in the winter, more often than not, you can see at least one of the lines.
Yeah.
Even just a fraction of lines. I've parked in parking spots where you can see the line when you're pulling up to the spot, but because of the way that the sun is and the shade is, you can't see the lines unless you're like squinting down, like at the ground, like staring at it to make sure that you've actually parked in a line. And I feel like that's easy to do. I don't know. I guess if people have eyesight problems, then I can't just take that for granted. But I just don't. I just think that it's like common sense to like be courteous of other people's vehicles, and so I don't want to hit their vehicle, and I want them to hit mine with their doors and stuff. And some parking lots are terribly spaced in the first place.
Very close sometimes, and then he gets out and he takes a picture of it, how close we are.
Oh yeah,
and that the car was fine before. Because he expects them to open their doors into our doors.
I kind of expect them to retaliate a little bit rather than to take.
They never have.
Yeah,
but he always takes a picture first.
But I have purposefully. But I'm still
Yeah,
like,
he
I don't
only
go
parks
out of,
in his.
Yeah, I don't go out of
spot.
my way to make it inconvenient for them. I just park in my spot.
Yeah.
And especially sometimes when you're in like a busy parking lot, it's like there's very few spots to choose from. So I'm gonna take a spot, but I'm gonna park properly. And if somebody else isn't, then so be it.
Makes it hard for them to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at my workplace, they do have assigned parking. I'm spot number 7, which is a very biblical number. Very easy for me to remember.
That's whose spot you take. Can you take a seventh spot?
Yeah. Greg's spot.
Greg's
His
spot.
workplace.
Sorry, I'm
I'm
not into work today, but I have parked.
Yeah.
And so that's great. And it's been nice. My current job that I've been at for the last like
many years,
5-ish years. I've always had a parking spot, which has been great. But the job that I had working at the breakfast bistro in town, that was
Also
downtown, which is rough. And so the nearest free parking was like across the Broadway Bridge and into kind of like Broadway area.
Nutana or whatever area that is.
So I would park there and it would be like 5:30 a.m. and depending on the day, it could be cold. But also not too bad. And then I'd walk across the bridge and the sun would be rising up.
So this is 2 minutes after you've woken up?
I was going to
I'll be
say,
waking up
but
a
it's not a
little
problem
earlier.
for Greg because his alarm goes off, his head pops off the pillow, and he's like, let's take a brisk walk of 3
I can't wait
miles.
to have another
sunrise
hour.
walk. A sunrise walk.
Okay.
It's lovely.
And it's downhill.
Now if I was young and it was my parents who were like, Greg, we got to get up and see the sunrise, I'd be like, no, thank you. But like it's me choosing to kind of do it, and it was good. Yeah. And so every morning. It was lovely.
Inconvenient, but better for your health.
Inconvenient, better for my health, yes. Walking is great. And
Walking is great.
yeah. Maybe not super, super early in the morning, but yeah. If you can hit the right sunrise. And the sun just hits those hills, and the hills, they just sing.
The hills of Saskatchewan.
The hills have eyes.
No. Emperor's New Groove, and you took it from a Disney movie and you brought it down to horror, down into the pit that was in my house.
I actually thought that you were referencing that musical that I've never seen.
Oh,
The
Sound
Sound
of
of
Music.
Music. Yeah, because the hills have eyes and the songs and the Sound of Music.
The hills are alive.
Sure, all of it, all together. If they're alive, they've got eyes and they
The
sing.
Hills Have Eyes is probably from some Stephen King novel.
Oh, it is definitely a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, hills. So at what point is it polite to leave this room?
That's what I've been wondering this whole podcast.
Yep, had that thought this morning.
2.5 years
Was
ago.
that was that at a meeting?
No. When
You're giving context now?
no.
Why not?
She asked me a question.
Okay,
That's
okay.
true. I'm not supposed to give context. But I do struggle in the morning with like, hi, how are you? How was your weekend? Especially on Mondays, because like,
You would
when
love
is it polite to
talking
talk
to
to
me.
people for a while, and when is it polite to just be like, great, I'm here to do an extraction because I'm at work. Can I leave? Like, I'd like to go do it.
The first thing I do when I enter into the office is I knock on my coworker's door. She's been there since 8 a.m. already, so I've been there for an extra half hour. She leaves a half hour early each day. So anyways, I knock on her door. I say, hey, how's it going? Good, da, 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 da. And then I ask, did you get the Wordle this morning? And then I ask, how are emails or tickets now? How are they doing? And then, but we have like that whole little conversation, and then I go to my office. But that's every morning. You would hate that.
I would hate it so
You would
much.
despise it. So far, she hasn't said that she hates it.
So you just keep doing it.
I'm assuming it's okay. But
Yeah.
Sounds
Sometimes
monotonous.
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 It sounds that.
that's what our job is monotonous. It's every day. And so I
That's
figure
true.
that kind of person would be okay with a monotonous greeting.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I always just seem to get embroiled in these conversations that like have no real end. I'm like,
But you're also
I
not a
usually
people
end it with,
person,
okay, I'm going to go to work now.
Suddenly
Yeah.
they're just listing off types of jam.
Yeah.
You're stuck there.
And drawing
You're
pictures
you're
of
stuck
jam
there
in
recording
train
with them.
stations. I don't know.
Now, raspberry seeds, they get into your teeth. And so I think that's the real issue with that type of jam.
You're not wrong.
That gets about
Grape
3
jelly,
out of
no
5
problems,
stars.
No problems with Concord grape jelly. With
Yeah.
that.
Goodness. Why do baby things have big eyes?
What does that mean?
Just
Oh, I
baby
guess no
toys,
context.
I betcha.
Baby toys?
So-
Okay.
Or
Actual baby animals.
chibi animated
Chibi, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
characters.
Baby. Isn't it supposed to be because you're like you're new, you're fresh, you're taking in the world kind of thing.
It's
and
so that
I
you're
think that's how people use it in literature,
And
but I
you're
don't
like-
think
you're
that's why they have big
Aren't they
eyes.
just exaggerating
it's because
their-
you are cuter
Mhm.
and you're more likely to be taken care of.
Yes.
That is the scientific reason, right?
That is the answer that I found to my question. Yes.
5 stars out of 5. Take that, raspberry jelly.
Will this counter ever be clean?
Well, this can't.
Depends on how often you wipe it down. I like to wipe it down when I'm done using it, sometimes while I'm using it.
Which counter are we talking about?
Well, I'm assuming
It's
any.
for
I'm
you to
assuming whatever
decide.
counter
Yeah, but
you
what
decide
counter are
on.
you talking about?
Chris just
like-
arrives at Starbucks and starts.
Grabs the rag. from
Why
the
are you
employee.
people so
Somebody-
dirty?
Somebody called me.
That's funny.
Okay, but if you enter
No,
into a
like,
restaurant and it's
the counter
dirty,
upstairs.
do you clean it up or do you get like somebody else? Like if it's fast food, usually fast food is not always.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of several different situations all at once. I've walked in. There's been dirty tables. If they like say seat yourself, then I'll choose a table that's clean. If I choose a table that's like the cleanest I can find, but it's still dirty, then when they come by to like say, "Hey, how's it going? Can we get you any drinks?" Then I'll say also, like you sat me here, or this was the cleanest table, but it's still dirty. Could we just get a wipe down? So then and depending on what it is, like if there's like a single crumb on the edge, I'll just brush it onto the floor. But if it's like sticky or it's got like lots of like it's
I hate
like
being
actually
sticky.
dirty,
Mhm.
then yeah, I will not do it myself. I don't know.
That's fair.
I kind of feel like that's the restaurant's job.
At which point? 3 crumbs, 4 crumbs, 5 crumbs.
Anything above a single crumb, how about? I don't know.
I don't do a great job of wiping down,
Correct. Anything.
but like
Yourself?
I wipe down myself. Let's just put it
Correct. Anything.
Just walking through the house,
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
wandering through the house,
I had a poop.
big eyes, trying to get Ashlyn to take care of it.
Okay. This conversation's gone too far. This is where I'm wondering when can I leave the room. But like, Ashlyn, you also let's just put everything out on the dirty countertop here.
Okay.
You also don't necessarily wipe down the counters.
Not necessarily. No.
Okay, let's be honest here.
This
This
discussion
is a
was
joint-
about me.
Actually, it should be. It should be about both of us. Anyways, so yeah, our countertops aren't super clean all the time. When guests come over, clean.
Sometimes. Not by the toaster.
Not by the toaster.
Toasters
Avoid the
are rough.
toaster.
Yeah.
Toasters
Yeah,
are
every
rough.
time you move it, it's dirty underneath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're frustrating.
It's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
But there is definitely a sign at work being like, yo, if you don't wipe the countertop after you've done your K-cup or coffee, because it just splatters everywhere.
yeah.
So yeah, I try to be cleanly there.
Mhm.
It's the people who I work with every day.
Not the woman that you live with
Yeah.
every day.
You committed to for the rest of your entire life till one of us kicks it.
Kick it.
They're paying my livelihood, right? I don't know. It is the interesting thing about how, anyways, that's a whole nother topic, but how you act differently at work than at home and all of that. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I'm the same. I boss people around and try not to talk to them all at once.
but yeah, I think we tolerate a lot of mess or whatever.
Mhm.
And eventually we're like, no, enough's enough.
I'm so
Mhm.
excited that our countertops in the new house are white.
So then you can see every mess.
You'll see everything.
That's not a good thing, is it?
And they'll remind you to wipe it, I guess.
It will be cleaner.
Yeah,
More work.
more work. Where can I store this?
Is there
Hmm.
is there space where it makes sense?
That's always the question, isn't
Mhm.
And if there's no space where it makes sense, then
can I display
F
this?
it.
Well, no. What I would
Tiny
say
Epic
is
Games.
what I would say is like, is there another space where there is overstock of many things,
Nintendo
but there's
Switch
an organized
games.
system within this overstock situation? So like a separate room that doesn't have just one thing in it.
What if there's no organized system whatsoever?
I would probably try to make one. I'm thinking I used to
You
work.
don't have time for that.
I worked at Dollarama when I was first out of high school, and they had a system of overstocking above the shelves. And if you go to Dollarama now, you'll see like there's boxes up above the shelves. And you can't reach those without a ladder. Well, you can reach the bottom ones without a ladder, but you shouldn't. And those typically had an organization, but there were many times when I would go to put something up and I'd realize that there was so much backstock of one thing, it was just taking over a whole section. And so then I would make it my mission over the next weeks of stocking to make
sell
sure
that item.
Well, no, just to make sure that I could
welcome to Dollarama. How do you feel about this one specific nightlight?
We don't have any of
Just
those
buy that.
cups for your wedding reception available, but can I interest you in these children's mittens?
Yeah.
Or something. But I would make it an objective to try to compress that section down and like slowly stack. Not necessarily taller, because we could only stack so tall or so high above the shelves, but it was very satisfying to have that all organized. So it's you make an organization system.
Speaking of satisfying, anybody else here? Is that satisfying to be able to like store something, or is that work?
To do the action of storing it or to have it put away?
Oh, good question.
The action
Thanks.
the action is work, but it's satisfying to have achieved that. I think for myself, anyways.
So
I'd rather not have to lift a box up above my head, but
if I'm thinking about work, both are work, and it would be really satisfying if I could take everything out and put it back in a place that makes sense. And that wouldn't be work. It would be very enjoyable. But as it is now, when I think, where can I store this? That it always goes with the end of the phrase, that I'll remember where it is. Because there's no system. There's zero system.
can you label it?
Well, sure, it's labeled,
Okay.
but then which cupboard is it in?
Okay.
Then you still have to go through every single cupboard to to find it when you actually need it again, if you ever need it again. And then there's no system to like take out the things that you never needed again for a year and get rid of them so that you have more space.
You could set an alarm
Which
on your
means-
phone
For 2 minutes
for
later.
364 days from now. Remove year-old items.
But like, it just makes me angry. Makes me so frustrated.
So, are you the kind of people who, if you go into somebody's kitchen, that you've never really actually been in before, you kind of know your way around it, like in terms of like where things should be?
I do have an expectation that
It should be the cutlery drawer.
I
Yeah,
think
it's more
everyone
so
has
like,
an expectation of where the
glasses
cutlery
might be
drawer is.
here. That's kind of my...
Because
What about
there's
glasses?
always a drawer that makes sense.
I don't.
What?
I am lost everywhere I go in this cruel world.
goes to somebody's house for the first time, opens up the drawer underneath the stove. Oh, I was looking for a spoon.
Yeah, what?
I never look in the obvious, like trying to find a kitchen garbage. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's
Those
always
things
either
just
under the
hide
sink
themselves.
or
They're just under the sink.
I don't know. I
Under,
always
like, a
pick the wrong
ledge.
spot. I think it's a pull-out drawer because at my parents' house, it's a pull-out
I've seen
drawer.
those, yeah.
Sometimes it's below the sink. I'm just fishing around people's kitchens at some point, looking at all the cupboards, trying to find this stupid garbage that's probably not even in a in a cupboard. It's probably just on a corner somewhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am terrible at guessing where stuff is supposed to go.
that's interesting. Yeah.
I'm probably like middle of the road. I think if I like find, if I get it right and I'm looking for a mug or whatever, I'm like, yes, this is a good
This
day.
made me happy.
This was like first try, boom, there's the mug. And if it's first try, there's like the Star Wars mug. Then I'm like, even better.
You got a treat
Got a
for
cool
being
mug.
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip around here because I feel like we can do some of the more interesting ones.
Holy, these are all interesting.
I have so many. Like, there are so many.
We spent 25 minutes talking about the first 2.
Yeah, we did. And so they're all interesting, obviously, because I had these thoughts in the first place. But unless you want to do a 2-parter episode,
that's what we've planned on.
You will be recording for hours.
That's okay.
No, Ashley needs to go to bed.
No. But it's part 2, as in like we postpone it till next time.
And you want us to do the same list, or do you want me to make?
Yeah, we'll do the same list. We'll continue, and then it'll get more and more interesting because obviously your thoughts get more and more existential as the day goes on.
I don't know about existential, but they are like
they're pretty dark in the beginning. Like, am I going to fall down the stairs again? When do I have to not see people?
Okay, well, the next one in line is why are people like this?
Great question.
And the tone for that is so much exasperation. Why are people like this?
I find that my asking of that question, I think it lines up pretty closely with where I'm at in my menstrual cycle.
Because I have 0 tolerance for any bullshit today. Yep.
My capita is full, thank you. So is my diva cup. Get out of my way.
I don't have those.
Yeah.
but I do experience those emotions. And I
am human, not Snick. I experience these emotions.
I'm not an alien. I'm just trying to think of how to phrase it. I think it's because I assume that there are things that should be obvious to other people that other people just don't consider, or that just aren't obvious to them. Like, it's not a
yours is like an activity-based exasperation, where it's like, why have they done this? Or why did they choose to do it this way?
Yeah, it's less about being like, I'm frustrated with the person maybe for doing something, but I'm frustrated for what they've done. I'm not like frustrated with the person personally. I guess I could be frustrated with a person personally as well. But
I am.
Okay.
You and all who you are.
Yeah.
Frustrated.
Why are you like this?
Yeah.
Yes, very much.
Yeah. I don't get frustrated too much with people. I think I just have a very boring job. Let's be honest. I'm just like, I'm there in front of my computer screen and I'm just scrolling. Like, in terms of at work, I don't know. Maybe get frustrated more with myself. The fact that I didn't get my Hebrew done today.
You did get your Hebrew done today.
I did get my Hebrew done today. Today was a win, guys.
Just kidding.
Thanks, Ashley.
See, I know jokes because I'm a human.
Why don't people know how networks work?
I'm assuming that's a computer-related thing. And
It
usually it's because everybody at your company is double your age minimum.
Now,
and they didn't grow up with that stuff, and they had one tech guy that ran it, and now the company has exploded to 10 times the size that it was when they started there, and they still just have one tech guy running it, and so he's got all the thoughts inside his head, and he knows what to do, but there's nobody else there, and so they're all relying on one guy.
Yeah.
And like, why can't you... Oh, I asked for this thing 5 minutes ago. Why isn't it in my inbox? And it's like, well, because I have to like send it to you. They're like, oh, couldn't you just give it to me? Like, I give things to you, and then you open up all of their documents, and it's an email that has a editable docx file embedded into the email, rather than just like creating a PDF that's embedded into the email. And letting you just click on it and download it, or just see it. I don't need to download. Okay, that's the thing. I don't need to download things. People that don't know how to do emails, they send you links in the email. It's like, don't give me a link. Just give me the email with like a MailChimp type setup where you can see the details in the email itself. I don't want to download something to print it off to read
Chris,
it. Like, so.
You would despise the new system that we have at my workplace, because literally every file we get through our ticket system has to be downloaded, and then we have to click on it to open it. It doesn't just open up.
Are you using PCs?
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's a problem that could be solved with using a Mac specifically, but I do know that they do a better job of like unclicking,
I don't know
unzipping zip
what's
files.
What's up with it? But anyways,
yeah, that does sound frustrating.
Mm-hmm. You get used to it after a while. It's been a few weeks.
Greg, not frustrated with anyone or
so
anything.
annoyed about this,
Frustrated
but now
with-
it's all better.
Frustrated
fine.
with
It's been a
systems,
week. I'm
but
fine.
Not with people. People are beautiful.
People make systems.
Greg's in a great mood today.
Yes.
I kid you not. Right before this podcast, I don't remember what I was talking about. I was talking about something. Think about, I was like, oh, this isn't a video recording, so I don't have to put on any makeup. And Greg was like, what was that, my love?
I literally came bounding around the corner because she kept talking as she left.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't hear, this could be important.
Wow.
Wow.
That is a good mood.
Next question.
All right. I don't know what to do with that.
Next we have to do a day in Greg's brain.
Yeah.
And just be like,
It'll be so
I
positive.
love people.
Yeah.
This job is the greatest. Ah, my spot again.
Number 7.
This sandwich tastes like it
Just
has
like
meat
the
in it.
Bible.
Sandwich again.
Today I
my
have
favorite.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, my next question was, can solar power this place?
Mm.
That would be nice.
The answer is
Yeah.
probably yes, regardless of where you are.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There might be some specific areas of the world that get very little sun during the year.
London.
I don't know those off the top. Oh, sure. Well, but does it have? I guess it has to be direct sunlight, right? Can't just
No.
be
Well, I mean, you need sunlight, yes, but
because they.
I don't know
lot.
if London is specifically low sunlight
Do
all
they
the
not just
time.
get? Isn't it
They
like
are
Van-
rainy, but
It's
like-
really rainy. I don't
rainy
think
all the time,
solar
overcast.
panels are going to
Yeah.
work super well in the rain.
I have no idea.
Maybe not, but any. I don't know. Does any little bit help? Is that a thing that matters with solar panels, or I guess it's expensive.
Like the slogan, any little bit
Helps.
helps.
every little bit helps.
Does that matter with solar panels? That's actually
Yeah.
the
Well, 'cause they're
slogan.
expensive.
The
to put up.
solar-powered calculator every time you put it next to your desk lamp. Any little bit helps.
Yeah. No, but I'm just wondering about that. Like,
Oh, I love
wonder
how
if that-
those
if
the
it
calculators
offsets.
had the solar panels on them. That's so cool. I forgot about that.
okay,
Like actually,
was that
though,
actually a solar panel, or was it just a sensor? Was it just a sensor so that when you took off the case, it would turn on?
I'm pretty sure it's a solar
I
panel.
think it's a solar panel.
No,
because
they
they
have
had
batteries.
in them still.
Yeah, but you
but
can
that's
still have
backup.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is a great question, guys.
Google it.
Ashlyn, are you quicker? Who's the quicker Googler?
Ready, set, go.
Ah! Too much pressure.
Do calculator have solar panel?
Mm-hmm.
Handheld calculators
Panel.
have been using solar cells for decades. In fact,
Yeah.
if you look closely, they use small photovoltaic
Yep, you got it.
panels which take the sun's energy and turn it into electricity, essentially how all solar technology works. Of course.
That's so interesting. That's
Thanks.
something
Why
that
aren't
was in
all
the
of our
hands
things-
This
of
is from
yeah.
the French
made that way.
Mitsubishi Electric.co.uk
It's like we give
website.
this
Wow.
to like 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and we're like, here, solar technology in
Here,
your hand.
understand it.
Like,
No,
And then
And they're
they-
just going to
and
use
then they
it to
write
write
in
boobs
6
upside down.
0 0
For
6
sure.
5 and then turn it upside
Yeah.
down. That's exactly what I was going to say. How do people survive in
we're
smog?
geniuses. We're gonna live so long.
How do people survive in the smog?
so what is smog? Smog is smoke and fog mixed together, right?
Yeah, and it's just overall pollution now
Mhm.
as well. It's the definition has evolved.
It's not
So it's like
really
the
like a
mist in
smoky day at
Mistborn.
Banff.
No,
it's like
probably-
I don't actually know what those are
probably
yet. Don't
like-
spoil it for me.
Is it
I was like,
Los Angeles? That would be.
Hong Kong,
Mhm.
like places where it's actually
I remember
like Delhi.
Mhm.
There were several places I remember in the world that were releasing data about how much pollution had just kind of like cleared up over the first year of COVID.
Mm.
And there's these places that you could see skylines in that you hadn't been
Mhm.
able to see skylines in since like the 60s or 70s or something like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Little-
that was
maybe a
LA
li-
specifically,
Maybe a
I
little
think.
bit disheartening, but
Yeah.
still cool.
Yeah. But I don't know how they do it. Like, do they mask when they go out so that they can breathe?
I know when I was in Cairo, I'm pretty sure that there was smog at different parts of the day, but I don't believe people like it wasn't like it's heavy enough that you can see it, but it's probably not like, I don't know, Beijing or whatever, where there's and I can't remember Beijing. I'm pretty sure we didn't wear masks there either. So
because here, if there's an especially
that's true.
like strong forest fire or something, they'll be like, try not to go outside because the air quality is real bad.
Especially if you have asthma or something like that.
Yeah. And so in places where there's smog all the time, how do you survive in that? I don't understand.
You just go out at different times of the day.
Well,
but there's smog all the time.
Is smog a
Sorry,
natural
lungs,
thing?
out we go.
Yeah, I guess they just die sooner. I don't know.
Is smog a natural thing? I always assumed smog was from like pollution.
Well, it is, but
Okay.
these cities are huge and the population is so dense that the smog is just all the time, right? Like it never goes away. Anyways, why is the dog shedding more?
Probably because the temperature has changed.
Because he's on his period.
He should not be.
What is itchy?
Oh, some days when at my job, we have a clean space
Probably a spider.
where you're all like gowned up and everything.
Yeah.
And often, even if I'm outside the clean space, I'm dealing with radioactive elements. So you cannot touch your face. It's not advised because you're wearing gloves that are likely contaminated, at least to some degree, or have a risk of being contaminated. And so when you get a nose itch, you just have to suffer through it.
Ugh.
And it's the worst. So I have to like curate my masks. Like I can only wear the disposable ones because they don't make my nose as itchy.
It's like a certain level of purgatory. You know?
The nicest one.
Yeah.
Having an itch so you can't scratch.
Irritation, but not pain.
It's a good way to...
When I do micro, I have a similar thing, but I just take off my disposable gloves and put new ones on after I scratch the itch. But sometimes, and I think that this was the case for this question, it was like I was scratching the spot and the itch wasn't going away.
Oh, that's the worst.
Like multiple times. And so I was like, is there a hair somewhere that is like tickling my arm that has come loose from my head? What is itchy? Why? Why is it?
Yeah, I think, Ashlyn, you get way more itchy than I do.
Oh,
like,
totally. Especially when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Very itchy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Specifically when you try to fall asleep.
Well, that's why I notice it the most because then I have to move around and wake
There's
up.
nothing else to think about other than the
sleeping.
Itch. Yeah.
But like you told us earlier that when you fall asleep, you don't feel a second bounce. So.
Yeah, I do fall asleep very fast. But if I happen to have an itch right before then,
it's going to be a rough night.
Yeah.
Can the wrong shoes actually wreck your back?
Never heard that before. Maybe I have.
I feel like I've.
But that sounds like a
heard
myth.
that. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if I can wreck
I
your
feel
back,
like it
but
has-
it probably make it like inflame areas that are commonly irritated.
Yeah, like
I
'cause
know
your
that
posture has
wearing
to
good
do-
shoes like lets that tension off of those areas. So I don't know if
Which
wearing
is
bad
so
shoes.
weird. This thin layer at the bottom
Yeah.
just happens to change everything.
Yeah. Well, it's
Because
about
your whole body is connected.
and your balance and how your feet. Are
I was trying to be in
support your
wonder.
whole weight.
You're not with the right group, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Can police officers play music while they drive? Is that allowed?
Oh,
That's a great question.
I thought so.
You definitely know a
I-
police officer that could answer that question.
Yes, I do. But I did not text her today while I was driving and behind a police officer wondering this question.
Definitely,
You probably
they
shouldn't
could-
have.
they-
That was a good decision.
They wouldn't be allowed to listen to podcasts. I don't think so, because that takes way more concentration. And also, if they're dialing in a 69400 and you're listening to some podcast that like blurs with it, like it doesn't.
yeah.
It doesn't.
Sorry, I need to pause this true crime for this true crime.
That's clever.
Yep.
Very good. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like whereas music, I think that's at least a little bit more allowable. But at the same time, like what would that look like to the pedestrian? Like if you're at a red light, and then they hear that music coming out of your car. Like I think that.
I don't think I've ever heard anything
Yeah.
coming out of their cars.
Yeah, I think
except
they have
maybe
to be
a
like
call.
alert.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite is when you see two police officers on a bike ride together. Like they're just buddy cops.
Yeah.
That just looks like the most wonderful day.
It does.
Like, why
look
do you get
like a
paid
good
to
day.
just hop on this mountain bike
Yeah.
that we tricked out with some like random police stuff that you'll never use?
Well, and what
and just go for a bike ride with your friend.
Yeah.
This
Like,
other police dude.
a
I was
great
like, what?
way
This sounds
to-
like a great day.
take down like stereotypes, because usually it's like the police guy is the guy who's he's a little overweight, he's eating that glazed donut, there's still powder on his shirt, like that kind of thing. But this is like these are two guys who are like they're athletic,
They're out for a bike
Usually,
ride.
they're out for a
together.
bike ride,
Mhm.
they're ready to go.
Mhm.
That's what happens when you go biking. Is a great means of exercise.
It is.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Will this plant live?
It depends on how much you care for it.
It depends on who's caring for it.
Yeah, and who. Yeah.
If it was
Eventually,
you, would it
no.
live?
What time scale are you looking at?
I don't know, man. Why is there never enough space?
Like, are we talking planetary? Are we
Ugh.
talking just in our house?
Yeah, we've seen too much. There needs to be. We've seen too much. We've explored the universe too much. There needs to be more.
More space.
Why is there never enough?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Just kidding. Are you talking about like when you walk around corners and you're like take them way too tight?
And I hit my hips or shoulders
Yeah.
every
Well, the
single
answer to
time.
that is there is enough space. You just aren't using it.
Pull an Odin and just straight run into stuff.
Run straight into the wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, coffee table.
Mhm.
What's with the pickles?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, pickles are a big deal.
Relish is a
Whoa,
great
whoa, whoa.
condiment.
Totally missed out on that. I should have said big dill.
A big deal.
Oh,
Oh,
So close.
Nah.
We would have relished that joke.
no. Gross.
Ah.
No.
But condiment sandwiches. Relish was a great addition.
Oh,
So good.
that's not okay. Is it like sweet relish?
It was, sweet relish.
No, gross. That's
know, it's-
so yucky.
What's the
Bread
problem?
and pickles?
That's what you put. People have
Well,
sandwiches with pickles.
Okay, so I think that's what she's getting at, is that like everything likes to have pickles on it now. Burgers,
Mhm.
I've never understood pickles on burgers.
Delicious.
I went through a phase
Just that
where
extra
I was
crunch.
I went
not
through a phase where
crunchy.
I was okay with
They're
tomatoes, and
Mhm.
and I'm
floppy.
back into a phase where I just don't love tomatoes on burgers. But I don't think I have ever enjoyed pickles. The only exception I can think of is sometimes, and I can't even remember which restaurants. They might not even be chained. They might even just be local ones. And so they will have chicken sandwiches that are just really crispy
Mhm.
chicken with sweet pickles. And that tastes good. Those when the pickles are really, really sweet. And I know that there's some brands out there that do
Mhm.
specifically sweet pickles. But if it's just like a generic like sour sour even the right word for pickles normally?
They're like
tart?
They're
No.
like a sour acidic.
Yeah.
Sour
An
is the
an
word for an
acidic
acidic
cucumber.
taste.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you are correct.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So that I don't understand the fascination with that either, but I also don't
Delicious.
understand fascination with other certain flavors or smells, and people love
Like
them.
fruit.
So no, I'm
Baking.
thinking like mint.
Ugh.
People are like
Ugh.
mint's so good, mint's
Mhm.
fresh, and it's just like
Mint
it
is
is so
yucky.
like for some
Oh,
reason.
peppermint
Anyways.
cookies, so good.
Makes my brain
Okay.
want to die.
Gherkin pickle.
What?
Those are the sweet ones.
What's a
The ones with the
gherkin?
little
I just
the
love
bird,
the name of
right?
it. It's
I thought
just such an
gherkin was just
odd-
like another name for a pickle.
No,
No,
I think
it's
it's
a
a
type of
brand
pickle.
name, and the logo is
She go and
a-
Google it.
Just the
am
logo is a
going to Google it.
crane, I believe.
I don't know, man.
Like
Don't
the ones
look
that
at me. I don't know nothing about
whichever
pickles.
the cartoon animals that bring the or maybe a pelican. I
'Cause
think.
Why
there's dill
so many
pickle?
pickles?
right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, dill pickle is just
Gherkin
a type
pickle?
of pickle. I think
And then there's-
gherkin.
Sweet pickles.
I was under the impression gherkin was a brand.
I think it was a type of pickle. Yeah.
A gherkin is a small variety of a cucumber that's been pickled.
Nice. Correct.
Interesting. Okay.
So it has to be a small pickle.
And so you don't like pickles.
No, not
Do you
at
like
all.
cucumbers?
Yeah.
Cool. No
I
further
like
questions.
I like
No.
I like ketchup, and I'm not a huge fan of tomatoes. Like,
That's fair. It is different in a way. But.
You can still enjoy the condiment sandwiches then.
Did you guys ever get
No, I
served tomatoes with like salt and pepper? Just like a slice of tomato? with
Yeah.
salt and pepper?
Yeah,
That's weird.
That was
Oh,
a
it's
thing my
delicious.
dad liked
I would
to
eat raw potato like that. My mom would be making potatoes, like sliced potatoes for like.
That's a little more weird.
What's what's the potato dish that everybody
Scalloped
potatoes? So you slice the potatoes thin.
Chris, we're supposed to make sure that they don't know we're aliens.
No, raw potato, like a raw thin
Okay.
slice of potato with salt and pepper on
Huh.
it. It's like super crunchy and it's
Like a chip?
watery,
Like a
little
chip.
bit, I guess.
Just
It's like a chip. It's like
just
a raw
healthy,
chip.
A healthy raw
guess so.
chip.
Chips or potato.
My
vegetables.
dad would just eat potatoes like apples,
Oh,
which
wow.
was
Okay, so
really
that's
strange.
That's weirder.
Yeah, he's a weird dude. That's okay. Why did they do this?
I don't know. I think that's just like the same as your like, why are people like this question?
Yeah, but like,
This is more specific. This is
Just
like,
can't-
why did they do it? Whereas the other one could have been like, why did they say it? Why did they?
the other
act
one
this
was
way?
why are they the way they
Yeah.
are?
Mm-hmm.
This one's less attacking character. This is just more attacking stupid decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many stupid decisions. I have several that are like, what on earth? You what?
Okay, let's.
Why
just
did I do this?
What on earth? That's an interesting
There
question.
might be no.
What does that mean?
explanation.
Okay.
Let's talk
Well,
about just like
you
where does that
sound
question
what
come
does
from?
it mean to
I think
you?
You
it's
sound like the beginning of a sermon. What on earth?
My mom
What do
would
we mean when we say this? What is our understanding of heaven and earth?
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Ashlyn Reimer. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Yeah.
I'd like you all to take a.
When I was 5 years old.
My mom would say, "What in the world?" And I think that's very similar.
Similar,
She
yeah.
would say, "What
What
on
in the
earth?" as
world?
well.
Yeah, I've said that.
I think I'm not sure. I think it just is one of those things that comes from, what the hell, and then that's not acceptable. So what the heck, and that's maybe not acceptable either. So what the hey, and and then there's all these
But
deviations.
this is
from
literally
it.
like.
I think it's like what in the realm of my understanding,
But
because the world
you don't say
is your
what in the
understanding.
hell, right? You just say what the hell.
I mean,
which
I've heard people say
Have
it.
you?
Yeah,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
but I don't
But-
profess to
but
understand that either.
I haven't
But
been
without the
exposed to
in-
those kind of people, guys.
Well, what in the hell, Greg?
more sheltered than you.
Yeah. Yeah. But like what on earth? Yeah. I guess it just means that just trying to think of this. So what is that saying exactly? Like in terms of the metaphor there.
I think it's just like I don't understand. Like I said, what in the realm of my understanding? Like
Yeah, or the realm of possibility.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is something that's like
Like,
external from Earth
maybe
that's
it's
happening,
less of a-
otherworldly,
it's-
weird.
Well, it's less of a. I think it's less of a
Yeah.
question and more like I think it's not supposed to be a question. I think it's just supposed to be like explain
Why?
this to me.
Mhm.
But saying that, like I don't know why.
Why have you done this?
Mhm. Interesting.
Shock.
It's just good
Shock and
sometimes
awe.
to pause and talk about it.
This is weird phrasings.
I thought this. Well, here's a weird phrasing
Okay.
for you. The
Yeah.
next question is, what do they think I am? It wasn't who do they think I am. It was what do they think I am?
So when somebody's asking too much of you, maybe
Yeah.
what do they
Treating
think of
you
me?
like
am I
dirt.
a robot that I can just
Maybe.
like start and stop on schedule, or that I don't have a life or
Treating you-
emotions? I don't know.
Not like a
No.
human being.
What do you think I am, Greg?
Beautiful.
Aw.
The next question is that real? Which is how I feel about the
It's like every
interaction between Ashlyn and Greg just now.
Yeah.
That's like every third thing I say on Twitter.
They're just faking
that
this
real?
whole
Is that real?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost at 6 years of faking it
Yeah.
legally.
Legally.
legally faking.
The last question here, because I put some together, but the last question is, why was I thinking of the Spice Girls today?
Oh, there's a band that I constantly think of that's not the Spice Girls, but whenever I'm trying to remember what the band name is, the Spice Girls is what comes to mind.
Is it the Pussycat Dolls?
No, it
What?
is
That's a terrible name.
Is it called Girl, but it's spelled G.R.L. G.R.L. or G.U.R.L.
No idea.
Girl.
If so, I haven't
Something like
heard
Is
of
it new? Are they
No.
currently making music? Who are you talking about?
You know what? Yeah, I can just. It's not like I don't have a computer.
In your hands currently.
Aha! It is G.R.L. with dots after it. So Girl, but with no I and a lot of periods.
A girl.
And the song is Ugly Heart.
Oh yeah. That
And
comes up
I,
on
like,
my thing
infrequently
sometimes.
just happen to stumble upon that.
Got a real nice face, but an ugly heart.
Yeah, it just runs through my mind randomly.
My most common like random song to have stuck in my head is oh no, I just lost the name of the artist.
Sing it.
Hey now, this is what dreams are
Hilary Duff?
made of. You betcha.
Nice.
I would not have gotten that.
Hey now.
This is what dreams are made of. I've got somewhere to belong. I've got somebody to love.
Yeah, okay.
And at that point, the episode slowly fades.
Yeah, agreed. It's done.
There's a few songs on Hilary Duff's Metamorphosis album that I get regularly stuck in my head.
My sister had that album. That's why
I never
those songs.
owned it.
Sure, Chris.
My friends had it in their cars. I never owned it myself because
You
it
weren't
wasn't
allowed
a
to.
Jesus album.
No.
That's correct.
Oh, heavens.
It wasn't.
Exactly.
Only heavens
Only heavens.
coming from my boombox.
It's so stupid. Okay, all right. Well, thanks for coming along on my day with me, guys.
It was
You're
fun.
welcome.
Thanks, listeners.
Thanks
if
for
you'd
letting
like...
us into your brain.
I feel like we
Yeah.
learned something about all four of us today.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn any more about any of us.
Particularly
in
about
this fashion.
Greg.
Yeah.
But listeners, we'd like to learn about you. So if you want to send us some of the questions that you think of during the day, you can email at us at thehouseboundpodcast@gmail.com. That would be lovely. We are on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more. Go to anchor.fm/housebound for more services and all of our episodes. Listen to us at anchor.fm/housebound, and you can connect with us on social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And again, email at us. Do it. We want to hear from you.
We will read them. We promise.
Yeah.
There's a character limit on emails, right? Do we have to read them?
Do we have to read them? No, character limits on tweets.
Okay.
Oh, I guess we can
Emails?
cap it. We will cap your email at like a minute or two of reading time.
No. Like Homestar Runner, where it goes through Edgar Jr., Edgar with an A at the end, which is
Instead
the
of
best.
Edgar.
Edgar Jr., and he's the indent police, and so if you send more than one paragraph, he deletes your email. So good.
No, but please, we don't get very many emails. We'd love to hear from you. Any length of email would be fine.
Talk to you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.